Welcome, everybody. Welcome everybody on this platform to Module 2 of Sociology of Education. Welcome to Module 2 once again. Under this Module 2, we are going to talk about the concepts and agents of socialization. Socialization. Socialization is derived from the word socio. So this module 2 is going to be a very interesting course because it's being practiced day in, day out by everybody on this living earth. So let's move further to the next slide. Now we'll go to look at the meaning of socialization. Socialization. It has a gerund word at the end. T-I-O-N. Socialization. Social is here. So the society. Social is here. Socialization. I want us to know that man is being referred to as a social political animal. Is referred to as social political animal. Social being is being referred to as social political animal, which means we are trying to say that we can only live meaningful life when we interact with other people in the society. When we interact with other people in the society. Interaction must exist for us to be socialized. So to say, we can say that socialization is the process by which the society makes younger ones in our midst to learn and behave in an holistically acceptable manner that suits the milieu or the environment we have. Hope we get it clearly. We can further say that socialization on this aspect has been conceptualized as a form of teaching. It has been conceptualized as a form of teaching. Socialization is the teaching of the desirable norms. Not it, of the what? Desirable norms, habits, traditions, values of a given particular society to its new member. So invariably, we can say that socialization is also the act of inducing a new member to a particular society. By you so doing, introducing a new member into the society, you must have inculcated the idea or the ideology of that society into that new member, so that that new member will do things in conformity with the society he or she is being imbibed into. So to say, the essence of socialization is to ensure that the younger ones are internalized with the do's and don'ts do's and don'ts of the given society, so that they will live as useful member of the society and also contribute their quota for the development of that society which they belong. Furthermore, we can as well notice that socialization commences from birth till death. So the act of socializing human being is a long life process. It commences since you've been given birth to until when we die, we continue to socialize ourselves, because human nature moves from one place to the other, and our nature changes from time to time. So in as much as it changes, or there is a changes in a particular way of our life or in a particular environment, we must socialize ourselves to adapt to that society. Let's say, for instance, the pandemic break out last year, 2020. It makes everybody to understand that we are in a global world. The aid of internet, the aid of visual learning, help us to understand that we can as well be teaching from our home, like the one we are doing now. The professional diploma in education that we're having now, it's online. You're going to have this certificate and you're going to be certified as a professional teacher by the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria. While the act of doing this is online, but you acquire the same certificate that is being taught on physical basis. So the act of you giving your time, using your data, changing some things, devoting your personal time to understand this field of study, makes you to re-socialize yourself in the act of learning online. So this online teaching is now a different ways that is being trending in African setting, especially in Nigeria. And socialization, as we said earlier on, that it's been given from when you're given birth to till you die. You're going to be taught different norms of a particular environment. Norms are ways and manners a particular people behave in a particular setting. It might not be written down. Let's say, for instance, now the norms of greeting in Africans in a Yoruba setting is a boy must prostrate to greet the parent, the female must kneel down to greet the parent. All these are attributed to Yoruba trait. If you do that somewhere else, it will do such thing that why are you stressing yourself? Because the environment differs from one place to another. So if a Yoruba now move from a Yoruba land, now go to stay in Igbo land or in an Hausa land, their mode of greeting will be quite different. So you have to socialize yourself by learning their art and ways of doing things there, so that you won't look so strange. So this concept is a very, very vital tool for us to understand. It's a very, 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 very vital and important topic for us to understand, and we must not toy with it, because as a potential teacher to be, we must understand how we socialize ourselves with a particular student. A classroom setting is a different setting entirely. So how do we socialize ourselves? How do we inculcate this idea of teaching our teaching methodology to the students? If you are not well socialized, there's no way you can teach the student appropriately and they will understand. So to say, we need to apply this to our teaching methodology. Thank you very much. I would like to move to the next module shortly, to the next unit shortly, sorry, the next unit beneath, which is the agent of socialization. Thank you very much. Let's continue. Under this module 2, we can now move to different units. I compress it to this slide so that we'll have enough time to study it. Now let's move to agents of socialization. Agents of socialization. Agents of socialization. What do we mean by the agents of socialization? There are various agents that aid socialization in various ways. The first point of contact for every child in every home is the family, followed by the peer group. Then we have the school, we have the religion, we have the mass media. Then we can talk about the community. Now let me start by discussing how vital, how important family is as an agent of socialization. Family, as you all know, is a unit which consists of father, mother, and the children, or the extended family, or it comprises of group of people that live under the same roof, either they are blood related or not. They can call themselves family. The role they took in socializing a child is very, very cumbersome. They aid in teaching the child moral uprightness. They aid in teaching the child good intellectual training. They aid in training the child in the development of cultural heritage. They also aid in teaching the child in vocational training and a love, affection for others. What do I mean by all these keywords that I just mentioned? The family is the first point of contact of every child. That is where a child is being taught some basic things in life. A child is being taught how to speak the local language. A child is being taught how to do some basic things in the house. A child is being taught how to maintain some moral standard in the society. A child is being taught how to do things in conformity with the society. A child is being taught how to do things rightfully, especially protecting the name of the family in a rightful manner. At this level, family does all that. Permit me to speak this Yoruba adage, which says, Ile Latin ko eshorode. The meaning is that a child is being trained from home to portray a good image in the outside society. That is to say, the home is very, very important. That is to say, the home is a background socialization agent to train a child how to have a good moral standard. If a child is being wayward in the society, they will trace the child back to the home. They will say, where are you from? Like Nigerian setting, they will say, oh, why do you behave that way? Oh, are you from the northern part? Are you from the eastern part? Are you from the western part? Since you are from the so part of the country. Oh, that's why you be, oh, and because of your background, they'll start segregating you, or selecting or reducing your person to where you come from. So that's why it's good to always be a good ambassador outside there, because if you're a good ambassador outside there, you will still be traced back to your family. For instance, now Professor Dora Akuyele, she's a very good ambassador to Nigeria. She's known all over the world. Irrespective of where she is in the world now, she's been traced back to her home country, Nigeria, our good country. Irrespective of other whatever nomenclature or what have you, some people give the country, we still have good ambassador of this country. So as a socialization agent, we need to perform this role very well in the family. Now let's move to peer group. Peer group, this can be said to be the aggregate of the child's intimate friends, classmates, or equal, or who are of the same age range. Peer group always assists in socialization of the child by instilling in them democratic culture, leadership training and responsibility, healthy sport competition, exchange of various cultural values. At this level of peer group, what we are trying to say here is that man cannot live in isolation. You must have your peer friends, peer association, peer group that you move with. And moving with peers, you must have a synergy of influencing each other. But the most important one is to influence each other positively. Like the issue of sex orientation, peer group among themselves discuss sex freely among themselves, once again, rather than discussing with their family. So peer group have a major role to play in socializing human beings in the society. Let's say, for instance, some group engages in some sport activities. From there you make friends. You might find a good athlete like yours. You exchange contact. From there you develop good friendship. So peer group is very important in socializing a child. They complement the effort of the family. Thank you. Now let's move to school. School, this is a formal and organized institution that assists the child in manifesting his instinct. It assists the child in manifesting its instincts, motives, qualities, etc., etc. The school at this level assists in both intellectual training, social training of the child in all sphere of life. Intellectual training and what? Social training of a child in all sphere of life. The school stands to complement the moral training a child is being given from home. Let's say, for instance, it is common when you get to school, you must greet your teacher. You're not just greeting your teacher just like that. You've been greeting your parent from home. You've been greeting your friends from the area, from the environment. So when you get to school, you have already cultivated the habits from the family group, and you bring it down to school. So school plays a major role in socializing a child. They complement the effort of the home, and they give intellectual and social training for the child. Thank you very much. Let's move to the next one. Now, welcome to another one, which is the religion we're going to talk about on this aspect of agent of socialization. The religious institution, we are going to look at it from the Nigerian context. This involves just three major religions: the Christianity, the Islam, and the traditional religion. So to say, the religion institution perform valuable roles in the socialization of the child by preaching peaceful coexistence among neighborhood, making yourself to be a good neighbor in the society, making and preaching holistically to be an obedient child in the society, preaching forgiveness for one and others. What we are saying in essence is that religion is an inveritable tool that preach peace, love, oneness, mercy, fairness in the society. By so doing of preaching this, they are instilling it to other generation coming on board for them to understand that this is the way the society must be run. You must be obedient, you must be fair to one another, love your brother as yourself. All this preaching, all this talk are being under religion organization. Be it Islamic religion, be it Christianity religion, be it traditional religion, they all preach love. They all preach peace. They are preaching all this for coexistence of human being in the society. And they are integrating us to be socialized in a peaceful manner. So thank you very much. Now let's move to another major one, which is mass media. The mass media can as well be categorized into two major types, which is the print and non-print media. The print media majorly include the newspaper, journals, magazine, handbills, billboards, etc., etc. While the non-print media involves the radio, the video, projectors, television, internet, etc., etc. The role mass media perform in assisting us in socialization is that it transmits various cultural values. It also inculcates morals. It also engages in intellectual development, mobilization, and entertainment of one another. Mobilization in the sense that it makes us to move in oneness through the aid of mass media. Mass media means giving an information to an heterogeneous people in the larger society. This information can be given out in the aforementioned categories which I said earlier on, either the print or the non-print media. Like, for instance, now with the aid of mass media, we're able to understand, we will be able to understand what is going on in other parts of the world. If you are just on your Google now to Google search a particular country, what's the latest news there, you have the news. You might have the biography of the particular country you've never visited, population size, the safer place, all information about the particular place will be given to you. That's the aid of mass media. And you, knowing of all this information, you are being integrated to understand how that place is. So you'll be able to have some moral information about that particular environment. We'll be able to have what particular information about that particular environment. Yeah, let's now move to the last one now, which is community, which is what? What do I call it? Community. This consists of the immediate environment outside the child's home or school. The community might be a clan, a village, city, or a nation or a child. The learning experience which a child goes through at home and in the school are based on the needs and problems of this community. This is so because a child is to be useful to himself and the community. He must learn some relevant needs of the community. The community performs various roles in socializing a child, which are inculcating morals, intellectual development, training in the value of the community, sanctions, and guidance of various services for the community. Now, what we are seeing is that the community is the immediate environment where the child comes out from. And that place, you must keep it so holy and with carefree attitude. You must not allow the community to have any dirty stain of immoral uprightness. So the community will teach you some moral upbringing which complement all what you have been saying earlier on. Because if the community does not make you to fit into the larger society, that means you'll be having a problem. So to say, socialization is being carried out with all these various agencies. These agents aid socialization and it helps us to have a peaceful coexistence in the society. So to say, we have been saying so far so good. We've mentioned just 6 agents of socialization: the family, the peer group, the school, the religion, mass media, and the community. Though we might still be having some few other ones, but for the sake of our study, I just try to understand these 6 major agents and have a thorough work done on it. You might further get a real material for you to have a comprehensive knowledge of some other various agents of socialization. So, for the sake of our study, we need now, I believe by now, we have understand what socialization is, and we have understand the role all these agents of socialization really partook to make us have a befitting and a comfortable environment to live in. I will be glad to welcome any questions from the students. and love to meet you in the next module. Thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful stay.